And it just as in relationships, I find with eyeshadows, just because someone's reliable doesn't mean they're boring, and I feel this way about this palette. Hi everyone, in today's video I'm going to be asking, are any of these new releases worth it? I'm Amelia and I love all things beauty, so please join me and let's get the fun started. Before I start with the eyeshadows, I'm going to start with the Vieve Super Skin Nova cream. Now this is the more moisturising older sister of the original Skin Nova, which comes in the tube. This came out I think sometime in January, early January. It's got a tint to it, which is why I was attracted to it. Let me just show you. It looks like that. It looks like it's going to be very goldy and bronzy, but actually when you shear it out, it doesn't. I can't see any glitter or anything like that. But I'm attracted to it because I've got dry skin and I'm always looking for something that's a newer primer. But this interested me partly because I kept reading about how good the Supernova was and people loved it. I didn't really feel I needed a thinner primer really on top of that. It's got niacinamide, hyaluronic acid, ceramides and peptides. I think that's right. I think I'm right in saying. And they say there's 33 skin-loving ingredients, and that also that it's light reflecting and radiant. And it's certainly got there's certainly a bit of glow. As I said, there's no shimmer in it. But I thought I'll put this on first, let that settle while I put the eyeshadow on. And then, given that I'm wearing a more medium to full coverage foundation in the Anastasia Beverly Hills, I just thought it would be interesting to wear something quite moisturising underneath. Moving on to the MAC new 6-pan eyeshadow palette. Now they call this Nude Board, and I'm gonna just swatch these for you. Here are the shades of MAC Nude Board. 3 lovely light shimmers, varying intensities, and then a really lovely mid brown shade, a dark brown, and then a gunmetal grey, which has got a little bit of a metallic satin quality to it, but it's not really shimmery. It's just lovely. I have used these a little bit and I really like them, which is why I wanted to show them to you today. I probably wouldn't have been quite so keen to demo these without the confidence to know how good they are, just because, and I feel it's a bit of a spoiler alert, isn't it? I wouldn't necessarily have wanted to go on a voyage of discovery together if they were just quite boring, because who wants to see that? I think this is really usable. Now, this is £32, $34. It's £6, as I've said. Comes with a really good sized mirror. Normally, I have to say I'm a bit sniffy about mirrors because they're either too small for me to use, or I've got my trusty little Muji mirror, which cost me, I don't know, £8 or something. So, and that's easier to hold. But actually, what I found myself with this one is I was on a train journey and forgotten my mirror. This did it. It was fantastic. Even for somebody like me who's not got the best eyesight, it is a good compact. Plus, it stays up, which I really appreciate. I hate the ones that collapse backwards. You just think you've paid all this money and you can't give me a hinge. So that's good as well. I'm just putting the mid brown in the crease. That's really all I'm doing, and just going up a little bit above. So my eyes look wide and awake as opposed to exhausted and sleepy. I'm using the Refero one, and they just go on really smoothly. I have not really paid much attention, or the attention that MAC deserves, to their eyeshadows, I have to say. I was put off because I think I had one bad experience 25 years ago, and it's not so much I bore the grudge, but I did just give up and I went somewhere else. And that may well have been as much to do with me as it was to do with the eyeshadow. Who knows what adolescent mood I was in. The reason why I gave these another go is I bought all these MAC lipsticks for a demo video that I did a couple of weeks ago, and I looked at these shadows, I thought they looked good and they looked like really up my street. And then I went back and I got it, and I'm actually really pleased. I think it's really good value for money, but let's see what you think by the end of this, because actually the thing that I am going to do today is use more of the colours that I have used hitherto, because there's a couple that I just haven't used at all. That's that in the crease. Let's put a bit more of the darker shade in the corner. I'm going to use this lovely peachy shade now. Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, I mean, look how easy it is to use these. You just pop it on and then you're done. It's just a really nice, reliable palette, and it just as in relationships, I find with eyeshadows, just because someone's reliable doesn't mean they're boring, and I feel this way about this palette. Very, very reliable. That's what it looks like. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of the very light shade here, that one there, and the gold next to it in the corner. Let's start with the goldy shade. Now these can be used wet or dry. These are their most pigmented eyeshadows they've ever made. 23 or 24 times or something like that more pigmented than they have been before. Then I'll use the very light one just absolutely in the corner. Now I may need to top this up after I've put my concealer on, which of course I've now smudged some of it. I was going to say there's no fallout on these eyeshadows, and there isn't, or there hasn't been, except I've just smudged it, but that was definitely human error on my part. Okay, and I should say that these shadows are made in the USA. That's what we've got at the moment. I've got the peach, I've got all three shimmers basically on my mobile lid. Now, the colour that I really want to use is this grey here, which you can see it on my hand. It's like a matte grey, but there's a bit of satin through it. It's a lovely gunmetal grey. I do like grey as an alternative to black. I find black way too harsh for me these days. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wet my little brush, and we're going to use it wet just to see what it's like. And I'll do a little demo on my hand actually of before and after, and see, so you can see what it's like wet and dry. I've wet my little eyeliner brush, and I just want to show you this is what it looks like. There's the grey, just swatch with a finger, and then below with a wet brush, just tap water, and the same with the brown, tap water with an eyeliner brush. It does get more intense, but still very smooth. I mean, I could see as I just put it on my hand, it was just really smooth to apply. I'm just going to go really close to the eyelashes. That's the eyeliner on. I'm just going to put a little bit of the mid-brown shade just underneath my eyes, just a little bit on the lower lid. I'm not putting the grey underneath. For me, it's too much. But I have to say, I really like the grey, and it's gone on really nicely and smoothly. The mascara I'm going to use is one I've used for about a week, and it is Lancôme Flutter Extension, which is, they say, is meant to lengthen and separate and fan the lashes. Now, when I first used it, I thought it was fine. I mean, it's a Lancôme mascara. They know how to make a mascara. I was slightly underwhelmed, but I've sort of kept going on wearing it, because what it's like with mascaras, they need to dry out a little bit before you get the real full effect. And I thought now is a good time to do it. It's got lots and lots of tiny little bristles on this, I don't know whether you can see it, on this brush. I think they say over 420 or something. Let's put it on, and I think it's fairer to a mascara, paradoxically, to wear it a bit, not necessarily be satisfied immediately, and then give it a proper full review or fair review after you've worn it a few times and the air's got into it. That just seems to be the thing that you have to do with mascaras. It is definitely separating the lashes. It's definitely fanning them out, in the sense that comes with separating them. They do fan out. It just means they're not clumped together, but that's a good thing. It means that it's actually doing what it says. I think with a great mascara, it shouldn't take loads and loads of coats, because it's meant to do a bit of the work for us, frankly. But I think you can see it's definitely separating and therefore fanning them. It's definitely lengthening them. This is definitely an improvement on the first time I used this, but is it something extraordinary? Is it something that's going to move me away from either YSL's Lash Clash or the one I've been using the most, which is the Hourglass, which I know is a tubing mascara. It's a sort of a different beast, really. The benefit of a tubing mascara, of course, is it comes off really easily at the end of the day. And I have to say, after several months of just getting used to having to remove the YSL Lash Clash repeatedly to get the lashes completely clean, because it really, one of the reasons I think why it's such a great mascara and you get much drama is that it really does adhere to the lashes, and it doesn't flake or anything. It's brilliant, but the downside is it's quite hard to remove. But this, I think, is now going to be worth another look on my part. If I see what it's doing, I like what it's doing, it's definitely separating. I think it's a good sign that even though I've used it for several goes and the air's got into it, it's got a bit drier, it's not clumping. That's what it looks like with one careful coat. One careful coat. It's always a magical moment for me when I put the mascara on and that eyelid comes together and the eyeshadow can really pop and do their thing when they're dressed properly. Okay, that's the mascara. Now onto the foundation. Anastasia Impeccable foundation. I'm shade 3N, which is a dead-on match for me. With my BK Beauty 101, I like a very thin foundation, and one of the things I like about this is I can get the matte finish but still apply it very thinly. It's a medium to full coverage. It is buildable, but I think I get an almost medium coverage doing it this way. And remember, we've got the Vieve primer underneath, and I can actually feel it with the brush. It's giving it a nice bit of slip under that. Now, what I will say about this foundation is, while it is matte, it's not, I'm sounding ridiculous now, it's not matte matte. It's not flat. It's not a flat matte. And I do like that. So given that I've got a bit of shimmer on the eyelids, and I do like shimmer, I don't want everything to be really shiny. Plus we've got a lovely glossy blush, so we've got to tone it down a bit. If you've got a mature skin, do not discount this foundation if you're more on the dry side, because I'm a very dry skin and it's terrific. I know it's great for an oilier combination skin, but honestly, I'm a mature dry and it's great. I just think it's a really good foundation. I have to say, on social media, I've not heard the amount that I think we should have done for this foundation. It's just, it deserves a lot of love. I think it's a really good foundation. The shade range is probably, well, it's not as inclusive as it absolutely should be. I think I was fortunate in that I've got my dead on shade, but it did take me 2 goes. So I got 4N to start with. That was way too dark and not neutral as well. Too golden and too dark. This foundation is absolutely worth a go. When I reviewed it, you'll see on my review, which I will, I'll paste the link up here, I think. I think it's going to be up here. Let's see. Let's see what my sense of direction's like. I was really skeptical, and I bought it for review purposes. I did not think that I would love it, and I really, really do love it. I'm really pleased with this. I've got some concealer now, Hauslabs. I've used this for quite a while actually. I'm just going to put a little bit here, and I'm going to blend it in with this new Refa brush. It's the LC01. It's a new departure for them. Synthetic. I think these are the ones which are made in China as opposed to made in Japan. However, I think they feel that the quality control is definitely there, even though they're not working with the same artisans they've always been working with in Japan. There's 3 in the range. Have I got the others? Yes, I have. I've got the LC03, which is their foundation brush, which I have to say is a good rival to the BK 101. And there's another one, which, do I have here? No, I don't. Oh, I do have it. Hold on a second. This is meant to be for blusher 02, and actually we could use it a bit later with the new blusher brush. But I do like this one for concealer, to pat it in. It's just the right size and the right shape for concealer. I find this a really nice concealer for a dry, mature skin, because I'm very crepey under my eyes. I don't actually think it's just age. I always was. I know lots of people put concealer as an eyeshadow base, and if you do, I have tried it. It's been very effective. Right now, onto the blushes. I'm going to swatch a load of blushes to show you that you can compare them with the new Flirty Flush by Natasha Denona. I'll just do that and I'll be back. 4 blushes for you to compare. At the very top, we've got number 50 Armani, which is Euphoric. The next one down, there's a theme here, is Kosas Euphoria. And then the third one is Pat McGrath Divine Rose powder again. And the last one is Deep Throat, which is Nars. Let's compare it to the Natasha Denona. Now, what she's done on this new range here, this pretty. We've got a powder, well, it's a cream blush, sorry, and a highlighter. They're semi-matte and a balmy glow finish. You get 2. They are different shades. It's not like the Patrick Tar where you get the same shade but with 2 different finishes. They are different shades, but they're complementary. Let me show you first of all the cream and then the associated highlighter. There you have the cream and the highlighter next to it. You can see it there. Now, I know it looks really pink. She's got 6 shades in total, and I chose, I think, a good medium shade for my tan complexion, and I was quite keen to have something that would keep going until the summer months as well. I'm happier applying something gently and then slowly building it. I didn't think it was going to be as scary as it looks in the container. But also, I just want to say, look how lovely this is. The packaging is color coded according to the blushes. If you do buy more than one, you'll be able to reach for the one that you know. I'm going to use my Refer 24 and I'm going to go into the deeper of these shades. And let's see. Ooh. Nice and pigmented, but it diffuses nicely. This is quite a good brush though, because it's quite fat. I think that's helpful. And it has got that balmy texture. When I swatch it with my hand, it's quite smooth, well, it's very smooth. And you can see it's easy to sheer out. Because as you saw, some of those powders that I've got, especially the Armani Euphoria or Euphoric, it's quite sheer. But then I typically put it on top of bronzer, whereas I haven't done that here. I've just gone straight on. Now, let's give the highlighter a go. That's what that's like that. Let's try the O2. Well, I'll do one side with my fingers and the other side with the Refer O2. There we go. We've got a little bit of highlight going on there. If I do that, like a nodding dog at the back of a car. There we go. Yeah, I like that. It's not an in-your-face highlighter. It's not really goldy. There's not like a lot of gold shot through this lovely pinky tone. It's just got more of a gloss, I would say. Now I've ended up doing both sides with the brush. Let's try it with my fingers on this side. To be honest, I think you'd be able to put both the blushers on with your fingers because they're easy to sheer out. That's the blusher. I've used Cool Teddy on my lips, this one here, along with the lip liner Whirl. That's the combination there. And while Cool Teddy, I do really like it, it is, however, a matte finish. It's a silky matte, but it's still a matte. And I like a bit more gloss, I think, with it. I've used the MAC lip gloss in Spite on top, and I do like it. I have to say, if you put it on, it's not sticky. And over the lipstick, it does seem to hold the lipstick and doesn't go gloopy. That awful thing where you can see your two lips sticking together from the lip gloss. It doesn't do that. These are worth looking at. That is the finished look. In terms of what I've used, I think this I will definitely use again. I've not been disappointed. The foundation went on nice with good slip, and I feel I do have a little bit more glow, which is actually what I like. That's good. I think it gives a little bit more glow than the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream far, but I will keep using it. This, as you know, Anastasia Impeccable, I really like it as a foundation. I like the overall effect. I do like the blusher. I have to say, I think I was a bit heavy-handed with it and I probably should have used a bit less, but it is my first go. Maybe next time I use it, I'll try my fingers as well and also try and maybe not load the brush up quite as much as I did. But I like the highlighter. I think I probably prefer it to the Patrick Tar simply because these are more sheer. If you're in a rush, as I wasn't in a rush this time, but I was a bit heavy-handed, but I don't look quite as ridiculous as I would have been when I have in the past been heavy-handed with the Patrick Tar. And it's definitely no one's going to sit next to me on the bus today. That's good. The shadows I was keen to show you because I think it's a really nice palette. It's really usable, and today I used all 6 of the colours. I don't think it's an overdone look. I think it's a very nice, user-friendly, office-friendly, life-friendly, as I keep saying, finish. So that is the finished eye look with the mascara. The mascara is fine. Of course it's good quality. It's Lancôme. Is it worth abandoning your previous mascara for this? I probably don't think it is. I mean, I think it's really fine. It's fine, but it's not exceptional. Yeah, I like it. I like everything. I think the things worth coming back to are probably the Vieve, the foundation I really like, and the eyeshadows I think are terrific. The lipstick I've used since I bought them. I have been using Cool Teddy quite a bit. That is the finished look. I would love to hear what you think and whether you are interested in any of these products, or in fact whether you've used any of the other eyeshadows from MAC, because as I said, for me it's new because I've not worn MAC eyeshadows for a very long time. This is the palette that's changed my mind. I do really like it. I think it's really user-friendly. I like it. I like everything about it. I like the packaging, I like the mirror, I like the finish of the eyeshadows, and they're super blendable. So I'd like to know and whether you're going to use any of the, or even try the Natasha Denona blushes. You may have already bought one and tried one, and if you're not using them, what blushes do you like? Do you like a cream? Do you like a powder? And I just want to hear from you. Do let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.